Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those that do not know me, also known as Ntate Moneti. You can also follow me on Instagram. My handle is @ntatiwana. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the reality of internships, the importance of internships, and what I've actually learned about internships, especially based on my experience. So if you are interested, please stay tuned. So guys, what are internships? Internship is a work experience provided to a student for a certain period of time. And you find that with internships, it's either they will be paid or unpaid. And with my experience, luckily enough, I was paid in the 3 times that I've been an intern. I've volunteered before. Let me just say that I've volunteered before at Partners in Health. I think this I have said in my previous videos. I have volunteered myself twice. The first time, yes, I did volunteer myself. The second time, I was called in again. I know when you're done or when it's during your school break, please come through and help us with data capturing. So I was capturing data at Partners in Health. So when I was in third year, which was in 2011, at the end of my third year, yes, which was around May, I got an opportunity to be an intern at Little Diamond Mine. So there I was paid. But anyway, what I wanted to say is you in exchange of your labor, you get work experience. I think that is one of the most important things about internships. You get work experience. You get to understand the industry that you're going to work in, because when you're at school and you're being taught about the environment, the plants, the flora and fauna, how to monitor stuff, how to monitor the water, how to make sure that you don't pollute the environment. You just have these things all pictured in your head, and you don't understand the reality of what is happening down there in the work environment. So luckily enough, I knew that I wanted to work at a mine. So it was easy for me to know where I wanted to work. So how I got to apply for internship, I actually wrote a letter and I submitted it at Little Diamond Mine offices. As I have explained with Partners in Health, I did volunteer myself, but then I was also paid. That's another thing. I was paid like 400 rand every week. But the second time when they did call me back, I was paid 500 rand per week, which is amazing because I even got to pay driving lessons for myself. So how you get to apply for internships, you can apply by writing. I think how I did it, I did write that company and I addressed it to like an environmental manager. I didn't even know if there is an environmental manager or what. I only learned when I was in the industry that there is a health, safety and environment manager. So what I learned from this is that before you even apply for a job, you need to actually get to understand how even the structure is like of that company that you're applying for, because it's really important for you to address your letter to the right person. So back then, Canada, they did accept my letter and I was able to get in. I was not interviewed. In some internships, they will interview you or they will take you through an assessment center. Assessment center is not a location. It's a form of an assessment where you're being assessed using various methods. It could be by writing a test. It could be like a verbal or they want to see your communication skills, whether you are a person who's able to work as a team. They'll give you various assessments where they actually assess different competencies. So basically that's what an assessment center is. And some, they can even take you through the psychometric testing, but luckily enough there was really nothing that or something that is formal for me to go through. So when they called me, they actually told me that, okay, we've considered your application, and we've decided to take you in at Little Diamond Mine, and we want you to come and start. Are you available? And obviously I was available at that time. I did take my application like a long time ago. I think for some reason those people that needed me at the mine, or that needed my service, they knew that if I am from the National University of Lesotho, that means my school break is around May, June, July, August. So they actually called me around that time. So it was a perfect time. So the advice that I can give you is you can start applying well ahead of time. Even do your research 6 months before actually applying for a job. So guys, after I got a call, they're like, anything that you want to ask, and I was like, how is the weather there, and what am I supposed to take? That is very important, guys. When you're asked, even in an interview, do you have any questions, you can't say no. You need to have something. There needs to be something that you need to say. So initially, am I even going to be paid? Sometimes you may think it sounds like this girl is all about money, but you need to know so that you get your things in order. You get to understand that, okay, maybe I need 500 rand from my mom so that I can pay transport for myself to go to work. Whether this thing it's worth it or not, you could compare it with, even maybe you could have applied for 2 internships, and then you can be able to weigh options whether you should go with company A or company B based on your pocket. Luckily enough, I had made my research that, okay, Little Diamond Mine is in Mogodong, and they did tell me that no, there'll be a car Lesotho School at 2 p.m. and you guys will go there. I never asked about how long is the drive, so that is another biggest mistake. You need to know where you're going, guys. Sometimes you could think, okay, Botawati High School. You don't know whether the roads is tar road or gravel or what, and then you just go there with a car that is not suitable for that road. So I think it's very important for you to ask questions. No question is stupid. You'd rather sound like you're stupid, but trust me, every question is valid, and to you it is valid because you know what your needs are. So the fact that I didn't ask how long the trip was, I didn't even take a lot of food. I was told that no, you're going to be given food there and blah blah blah. So I thought we'll get there on time for me to eat in the evening. But then luckily enough, there was a stop at Wetawete where we were able to buy KFC, and the guy that was driving us to Mogodong was like, guys, we're not gonna make it on time. I suggest that you guys buy KFC here. So if my grandmother didn't give me 100 rand to buy KFC, I wouldn't know. So this is what I'm saying. It's very important for you to actually ask anything. Just ask anything, and you can even prepare your questions well ahead, even before they call you, so that you know that you have the right questions in place. But I honestly didn't ask whether I'm gonna get paid or not, to be honest. As much as I'm telling you guys that you must maybe ask about it, for me then I really didn't ask about the money. I wasn't interested in that. I was actually just happy that I'm going to Little Diamond Mine. So when I got there, I knew that it's extremely cold. I had my asthma pump with, I had my jackets with. And then when we got there, it was snowing. I didn't know that snow is actually very slippery. So I had my boots on, and the first day going to work, which we got there on Sunday, the first day when I got to work, which was on Monday, going to the kitchen to eat. Okay, we are actually living at this place called Bughinabere. Guys, the residences there, they're named after villages at Mokgotlo. So it's about like 15 minutes walk to the kitchen. I remember I got there where we were staying, Kakoloi. So nobody is gonna fetch us from our residence. We needed to figure out how to get to the kitchen. So on our way down to the kitchen, I actually fell, which is one of the embarrassments. The one thing that I want to tell you also about being new at a certain organization is the first impressions, or anything that happens to you as a new member of the organization, people won't forget about it. Luckily enough, it was just myself and the two ladies that I was with, who were also interns at LD Mining. So when we got there, guys, in the kitchen, it was all sorts of eggs, sausages, gravy, bread. Like, it was just amazing. Like, is this the life that I'm gonna live in the next 6 weeks? Because yeah, I got the internship, and it was for as long as when I go back to school. So it was 6 weeks basically. So guys, it was just amazing. Omelette, fried eggs, scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, poached eggs. I'm like, damn, this is gonna be my life for the next 6 weeks. I can't believe this. And then we were given PPE, which is personal protective equipment. That also helped me not to fall actually in the snow. And we were given the jackets. It is extremely cold. You need like a jacket that is of some sort of a windbreaker, heavy one. So they did provide us with that, which was very good. So the one thing that I also learned from my experience at Liteng is, when you're a student, you go there with the mentality that, okay, I want to show these people that I know so much, I know a lot, I know different things. And when you get there, you just see, oh my god, even the terminologies that are being used here, it's something that you are not used to, and it's so sad. Let me make you an example. I was taken to the Department of Engineering as part of my internship. I used to like rotate. So the manager in the engineering department, he was taking me through the sewage treatment plant on a chart, and also the water treatment plant. So he asked me, do you know what grey water is? Guys, I knew what grey water is. It's just that I didn't know that in that terminology. From my school, we were told that any water that is from the sink, your sink, or the water that you bath with, that comes out as waste, it's called wastewater. So Bona, they call it grey water. So I was also with this other lady who did health sciences. So because safety, health, and environment were kind of like in one department, so we had to be together. As much as I was more focused on the environment side of things. And another thing that I should mention, the person was supposed to be my mentor. She had went for maternity leave, so I was still waiting for her, for me to get like the core concepts of environment. So I was just, and it was like, you don't know what grey water is? Guys, I've never felt so low. I even asked this guy, the guy we were with, who was a technician, who was actually going to be with us on that side and do the practical things of usage of chlorine, to like treat the water. I was like, do you think I'm down for the fact that I didn't know what grey water is? And then he was like, no, calm down. As a terminology that you're used to, what I used. I was like, no, I'm used to wastewater. But all I'm saying is sometimes when you're a student, you actually annoy other people because people, we have perceptions can either be true or false. Some people, they believe that, oh, my student and people, they want to challenge you sometimes. So you need to get your facts right. Also need to get your heart right. You're going to meet different kinds of people. So this is why I love internships, because you get to understand the working environment. You get to understand that this is not varsity, this is not school. You are in a different environment where everyone is pushing their agenda. It's an accountant there, but all these departments, they're all interdependent on one another. And again, that what I learned is that you are more vulnerable when you're an intern. You know what I mean is you get to meet people, and you always want to please people. You can't please everyone. You want to please people because you still want to be considered again in the next years for them to take you, right? And you don't know who is who. You're just like, I'm just taking chances here. That's basically what happens. And which is okay. I mean, networking is okay, but get to understand that you don't want to find yourself being vulnerable. And what I mean by being vulnerable is even the people there, especially men, they can take advantage of you and then and it's easy for you to actually agree because you're in a different world, different space. You don't know who is real and who is not real, and whatever that comes to you, you just take it. This is why I thought this is important for me to share, because I fell in that trap. It's so easy for people to take advantage of you, you know. So it's very important to be intact. Know that you're going to be a student there and learn. You're gonna learn. Another thing that I learned from my internship is that you're expected to actually write a report. So when you go there, you must have your laptop with. Every time when you learn something new, you need to write something about it. Oh, another thing, this other guy who was sponsored by Let's End Them With Mine, he came through. So what happens is when you're being sponsored by the mine, when you're done with your studies or you're on your study break, you can come to the mine and then you get to work for the mine, right? So this guy, he did environmental engineering. He was just smart, you know, and I loved the fact that I was exposed in that field, because you get to see I need to pull up my socks. You have like a benchmark. You have someone that you can weigh yourself with to say, where am I in terms of my career, in terms of my studies? What am I lacking? I was able to converse with that guy, and he would tell me stuff about Stellenbosch, and I'm just amazed, and I'm just shocked, or I've not been exposed to such experiences where I come from. And then you start networking from there. So it's very important. Networking is very important in the future. Like the fact that I was able to build even relationships at Letting Down with Mine, they were able to call me to say, we need your services again after the 4th year. So at Letting, there are different contractors. There will be minor packs, there will be alluvial ventures, there will be Tsibo and stuff like that. So I worked in the engineering department. I worked at minor packs. I remember the guy that I was with who did environmental engineering, this desert plant 2. He'd be like, hey, you're so lazy, you know. And I realized that no, guys, you need to pull up your socks. Like if you work at that mine, you just need to be a man. You need to man up. There's no such thing as no, I'm a lady. And that's when you get to decide whether is this my place or not. Trust me, I knew it was my place. I really loved it. I loved my experience as an intern. I also worked at a mining department where I worked with Ntate Berry, and he was just amazing. I knew everything from Sasol, to blasting. It was such an interesting experience. I even went to Alluvial Ventures. It was extremely cold. What I knew about that is that I didn't want to work like there, to be based there. It was extremely cold and dusty. But then again, what the most important thing I learned about my internship is there's so much respect given to people in the workplace. Like there's no such thing as ntati, there's no such thing as mamosa. It goes with me mamosa. You get exposed to such things. They're very important elements in the work environment. So I think it's very important for people to actually go for internships. You also get to see hore applying your knowledge in that work environment. It's not exactly as what is in the book, what's exactly in the book with the storage treatment plant and also the water treatment plant. It's exactly what's in the book, but then when you get to see the process itself, you get to appreciate scientists, you get to appreciate people who work at the storage plants, and you're like, guys, you actually see poop all the time, and you make sure that the water is clean for it to be reusable. You get to appreciate the little things in life. You get to see where everyone's role is important. I think for me, that's what I got to appreciate, because I was able to move from one department to another. Unlike the girls that I was with, they were always at the office. And again, the one thing that I learned is sometimes you can go for internship, you are really not going to be given like the core role responsibilities. You are just like a support role. That's where you will be filing, organizing documents, to be in that cabinet or not in that cabinet. I mean, as an intern, sometimes you can't be given someone's account. Let's say you work at a bank, can't be given someone's account and then manage it. You're given like those little tasks. And I remember they were like, I'm not sure whether it's exactly what I came here for. And I felt so sorry for them. So I think just know what you want to achieve out of your internship, and also just to write them down. And maybe someone who mentors you, just ask them, do you think I'm ever going to learn about 1, 2, 3 and 4? And then they'll be able to direct you to the right department, because you'll be able to explain to them, no, this is exactly what I do. Because they might think, okay, you did accounting. Some people don't even know the difference between accounting and finances. You know what I mean? I don't know, because they were complaining that I don't think it's exactly what I thought it was. We are filing, we are doing that, and they didn't like it. So I think also this message goes to companies or organizations to actually maybe see to it, how about to batla internshiping, what is it that they can give them that actually resonates with what they do study at varsity. So for me, going for internship or applying for internship, it wasn't mandatory for us to do internship. It wasn't mandatory at all. I think for the fact that I was so used to not staying home during my school breaks, it kept me wanting to explore more. But yeah, did I need any skills for me to get there? I think it's very important that before you get to your 3rd year or your 4th year or your last year, before you go for internship, just try to volunteer yourself, or do some kind of freelancing. I think when you have those skills documented in your curriculum vitae, it opens up doors for you. I think the good thing also about a CV is you get to sell yourself. Guys, a CV is not a 5-page document. It can be a 1-page document or a 2 or 3-page document, but just try to sell yourself and also do the right things, acquire skills, volunteer yourself, sell hot dogs if you're in marketing or in business or in entrepreneurship school. Do something related to that. Have the drive, and then when you apply at a certain company, they'll see that okay, this person has been trying. But the most important thing, honestly, what I can say is, especially with girls, you are the most vulnerable people. You can get yourself ufumane hore motho e mong is going to say, hey ngwana skolo nketsetse tee, and you don't have the opportunity to even say no. People, they actually take advantage of you, so you need to know what your role is there. But I know it's not easy because you're like, who is this person? What role do they play in this company? If I say no, what is he going to say to me? Will they consider me the next time when I apply? Like, so many things are going through your thoughts, but no one is supposed to make tea for the other person. It's not your job. It's a friendly kind of thing. Now, I hated that thing. Even when I was employed, we used to sit in tables at the mine where it's like around 7 or 8 people, and then there's turns. The other one makes tea, the other one makes tea today. I hated that. So when you're like me, and then you get to be exposed to people who want you to make tea for them, you're going to get very miserable at the job and not realize them. Oh no, you're actually not there for tea, you're actually there to learn. When my mentor did come through, she's like, no, don't worry, this thing we're going to do it step by step. She literally made sure that I got the concepts right, because she went to the same school as me, which is the National University of Lesotho. She knew our syllabus, basically what we were being taught. She knew what I needed. She was the right person for me to get experience from. Another thing, I'm not saying when you're an intern don't mingle with people because you're vulnerable. That's the form of networking. I used to go to parties. I enjoyed myself. It was amazing. You need to know yourself. The reason I said you become vulnerable, there was also this group of people that used to pray, and you end up thinking, if I don't attend this prayer meeting, how is this going to affect me in me being as an intern, And I don't mind praying, guys. I love praying. I love God. I believe God lives, but I don't want to be in things forcefully because I want to do them for people. I want to do something because I feel this is good for me, this is good for my growth. Honestly, I felt like I'm so tired every time at 6 p.m. when I get home. I just want to rest. So I never really went to those prayer groups, but I know some of the people that were on the internship with me, they would go there, and I knew that some of them, or actually at least one of them, didn't want to go there. They just went because they felt and it's so difficult, especially when you are at a place like Liteng, because that's where you live and that's where you need to socialize with people, and you're not able to differentiate between being able to dedicate yourself to work and being able to dedicate yourself to the social life of things. But yeah, basically that's that, guys. The one thing that I've learned about working for a certain company that you were an intern at is that for people that knew you as an intern, it's so hard for them to take out from their mind that you're no more a student. It's so easy for them not to believe in you. It's so easy for them to see you as a student, as someone who's coming here to learn. Yes, as an employee, you're there to learn and you're there to grow and to develop. But sometimes you just need to prove yourself that you're actually there to work. You're not there as a student anymore. And like I said, the first impressions, they do count. And if we don't get it right the first time, sometimes it can be a burden that you carry with through in your work area. It takes time for people to see you. Ish, you know, as a student, you know, she is now an employee just like myself, you know. So some people forget, this is not our home. We are here to work. So, but remember, they take it as their home and they make other people miserable. But for me, I was just here. I had all the support that I needed. So, I don't want to lie, but I know for a fact that those people are like, oh, Hannah, oh, no, student, you know. Yeah, so yeah, that's basically that. If you have anything that you've learned from internships that you feel like I didn't learn or didn't include in my video, please let us know in the description box and tell me whether you felt like you're I think that was the biggest thing for me, being vulnerable. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video will help other people that are yet to go for internships to know exactly what they want, to know exactly what they have to do for them to get into into a work environment. Sorry about that. And also to know what is expected out of them, to know that they need to ask questions before they actually immerse themselves in a work environment, because sometimes you might just be late for your work the first day at work because you didn't ask how far is that place. You just thought, okay, it's the same time on mine, then that means it's in Masero office. No, girl, you need to get your facts right. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, please, if you haven't subscribed. I love you guys and have a wonderful week.